Hey guys, this is part 2 of the video. So the next thing I'm going to show you is how to draw the arms. So similar process to how we drew the neck. The arms are basically made up of rectangles and a circle at the end. You've also got a hand at the bottom that you can draw freehand with the pen tool. So what we want to do first is draw a rectangle. So let's get that roughly the same width as the arm. Actually, what you want to do first is make sure your layers are showing, add a new layer, double click on that and call that arms, and then you can start your drawing. So a rectangle, roughly that width of the arm. Once I got one there, and click and hold to select your ellipse tool, and right in the middle there, again, your smart guides are going to help that align. Click your Option and Shift, draw a circle until that clicks into place. Again, what we want to do is just hold your Shift key, drag that to the top until that locks into place. Select both of those objects, and again, using the Pathfinder, just make sure that's highlighted, your Pathfinder, and you just want to click on that Unite button. Easy. So there we have an arm. What we want to do now is just to rotate that to make sure that's the same angle as the arm on the dummy image. So just bring that just right over the top of that arm. What we want to do is we want to select the rotate tool. So that's under the same tool as the reflect. So just click and hold on your reflect, select rotate, and then we just want to click on that object and rotate it around just until it's the same angle as the arm is on the drawing, and then we can just drag that into place. If it's a different size, what you can do is easily enlarge it or reduce it in size. And how you do that is whenever you select an object, you've got this what's called a bounding box around the outside. Just make sure you've got your select tool selected. Click on one of those corners, press Shift, because Shift will always enlarge it or reduce it to the right size. So if I'm making that the same width, you'll notice that the arm's a little bit short. So how we can fix that is by selecting the Direct Select tool, just by clicking the two endpoints. So click once, press your Shift key, click another time, and that will allow us just to select those two endpoints. We want to keep it on that same angle, so just drag that down until you have the desired length. With those 2 points selected, you can also use your arrow keys to move things around and adjust things just by clicking forwards and backwards. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay, so we've got one arm done. Now to do the other arms, all you need to do is to select that arm. There's a few ways we can copy. We can either go to Edit, you go to Copy, and then go to Paste, and that will give you a copy of that object. So we just want to get that second one now. Again, go back to the Rotate tool, and we can rotate that. And then we have our second arm, and just keep using the Rotate tool to get that at the desired angle. So there's our second arm. Use your zoom tool just to make sure that the shoulders are aligning properly. Yep, there. Again, select that one. We want to copy that. And we want to paste that. So we have another one, and that's going to be our third arm. So again, we want to select our rotate tool. Just make sure we're rotating that to the desired angle. Just place that over the other one. So there we go, we've got arm number 3. If you zoomed into your document like this and you want to look at other areas, just press down the space key and you can just click and drag, and that will allow you to move your document around without having to zoom out and zoom back in. Another little function as well is when you've got your zoom tool selected with the little plus, when you click it, obviously that zooms in. If you press Option, see how a little negative sign appears? That zooms out just by holding down the Option key. So you've got some other details in here. You've got the bent arm. So with the bent arm, we can just use the pen tool, and then we can just start drawing that arm out and make sure that's a closed object. So we've got the bent arm, we've got a little cuff or a slit in the arm sleeve here. So we just want to use the pen tool, click once, click again, and then we just get that little detail in the sleeve. So essentially that's how to create the arms. For the hands, we just create those using the pen tool. So click, it's got some curves in there, so you should really click and drag just so you get some of those handles so you can create some of the nice curves. Click and drag, click and drag. Click and drag just until you've got that hand shape done. There we go. It doesn't need to be a closed object, so you can just keep it like that. All right. So we've got a couple of sleeves here which use or which have curves on them. So we create the first one. The first part of this sleeve here is the same as those other arms. So just make sure that first one is locked into place. It also has these curved lines here, so we just want to draw those with the freehand pen tool. Sorry, just with your standard pen tool. So we just click at the bottom here once, and we click at the top here, and then we just click and drag, and then we get those curved sides to the arm. And then you can just do that for the other side as well. So essentially they are your arms with the hand. Just select the hand, copy and paste. You've got your other hand, you can then rotate that and you can use that for the other hand down here. So for drawing the body, that's a little bit easier because it's mainly just made up of straight lines and a few curved lines. Select your pen tool. Don't forget to make sure your layers are highlighted. Select a new layer, and maybe we just call that body. Start at the top here. Click once, don't drag, just click and just keep clicking. That's another straight line. Actually, it looks like there's a slight curve in there, so you Click once, and you can even just drag a little bit just to create that curve. Now here what you want to do is to click once on that endpoint, because if you click down here, you end up with a weird curve here. So what you want to do here is click once on there, and that gives you a nice square endpoint. Come down here, click, and drag to get that curve. And from here, it's a straight line all the way down to the foot. Click once, and then you can just keep going and draw the leg. Click and hold to get those curves. Click, hold, and drag. Click, hold, and drag. Click, hold, and drag. Click, hold, and just click once, and then to the halfway point. Again, we'll use the mirror device to get a copy of that. So click, Option, and what we want to do here is go to the Reflect tool, hold down the Shift key so it's at 90 degrees to the other side, 180 degrees, sorry, and then we've got our other half of the body. So if we hide the image layer, you can see we've really made a lot of progress with drawing these shapes. The last thing I'm going to show you is just these dotted lines. Again, it's using the pen tool. So what we want to do is just click once, and hold down your Shift key and click again at the bottom. And to give these, oh, I've joined those two. Let me just undo that. Okay, so we've got our stroke. What we want to do is just highlight that. Click on this stroke label here, and that will bring up your stroke panel. And we want to click on dash line. And then we can just play around with the sizes of the strokes and the dashes. So we might want it at around about 4-point dash and a 4-point gap. And that looks about right. We can then just drag that into place. Just use your direct select tool just to make sure the endpoints are correct. Now, because we've done one dash line, if we continue to draw all these lines, you can even, this is the stroke tool as well, the line segment. We can just use the pen tool though. Any line from now on will be a stroked line. So these ones are straight lines. Just make sure if they're separate lines, you need to just deselect them before drawing another line. Otherwise you end up drawing a straight line, they're going to draw another one and it joins up. So just make sure you deselect before you draw those lines. So with these curved lines, again, what we want to do is just click. We want to click and hold to get that curve. That's a straight line. There's a bit of a curve in that one. So click, hold, and drag right down to the bottom. So if we just bring up our layers, hide the background, see, we've really made progress here. All right, so that's about it. So guys, just practice with those basic functions, and hopefully by Monday we'll see some pretty good dummies so you can start your weekly projects from there. Thanks, guys.